Nestled along a dusty, winding road in a small Nigerian village was the Akande family restaurant, a modest establishment that seemed to defy logic. The building itself was nothing extraordinary, a small wooden structure with a corrugated iron roof that rattled whenever the wind blew. Yet this humble roadside eatery attracted people from near and far, as if an invisible force guided them to its doorstep. Travelers spoke of the tantalizing aroma that filled the air for miles around, drawing them in like a moth to a flame. Once they tasted the food, they never forgot it. Word of mouth spread quickly, and soon the Akande family became a local legend. The Akandes were an odd family of 5, each with a distinct personality that seemed to contribute to the enigmatic charm of the restaurant. There was Baba Akande, the patriarch, a quiet man with a long graying beard and eyes that seemed to see straight into your soul. Mama Akande, the matriarch, was a robust woman with a hearty laugh and a way of making every customer feel like family. Then there were their 3 children. Adi, the eldest son, a lanky and reserved young man who handled the kitchen with unmatched skill. Toby, the mischievous middle child who served as the waiter and entertainer. And Sade, the youngest, a precocious girl who seemed to know everything about everyone. Despite their warm demeanor, the Akandes carried an air of mystery. Customers often whispered about the secret behind their food. Was it the spices, the cooking techniques, or perhaps something more unusual? The family never revealed their recipes, and any inquiries about their methods were met with cryptic smiles and evasive answers. The food was unlike anything anyone had ever tasted. The jollof rice had a smoky richness that lingered on the tongue. The suya was perfectly spiced with a blend that seemed almost magical, and the pepper soup warmed both the body and soul. Even the simplest dishes, like akara and fried plantains, were elevated to something divine. People swore the food had healing properties. A weary traveler once claimed his chronic back pain disappeared after eating their agusi soup. Another insisted the puff-puff gave her the best night's sleep she'd had in years. The strangest part, no one ever saw the Akandes buying ingredients. While other restaurant owners frequented the local markets, haggling over prices and inspecting produce, the Akandes seemed to rely on some unseen source. One curious customer, a journalist named Emeka, decided to uncover the truth. He visited the restaurant under the guise of a food blogger, hoping to get a closer look at the family's operations. Despite their friendly hospitality, the Akandes were careful not to let him into the kitchen. Frustrated but determined, Emeka decided to snoop around after hours. Late one night, he hid near the restaurant and waited until the lights went out. When the village grew quiet, he crept around the back of the building. To his surprise, he discovered a narrow path leading into the dense forest behind the restaurant. Following it, he stumbled upon a lush, hidden garden unlike anything he'd ever seen. The plants glowed faintly under the moonlight, their leaves shimmering with an iridescent sheen. Strange fruits and herbs grew in abundance, some emitting a soft hum as if alive. Emeka's curiosity turned to unease when he heard voices. Peeking through the foliage, he saw the entire Akande family gathered in the garden. They moved with a practiced rhythm, harvesting the glowing plants and whispering incantations in a language he didn't recognize. At the center of the garden stood an ancient baobab tree, its massive trunk etched with symbols that seemed to pulse with light. Realizing he had stumbled upon something otherworldly, Emeka retreated quietly. He returned to his lodging, shaken and unsure of what to do with the knowledge. The next day, Emeka returned to the restaurant, determined to confront the family. As he sat down to order, Sade approached him with a knowing smile. Emeka nearly choked on his drink. Emeka's journalistic instincts kicked in. Baba Akande, who had been listening from the doorway, stepped forward. Emeka realized the truth in his words. The Akande's secret was not just about the ingredients, it was about the responsibility that came with them. He decided to leave the story untold, respecting their wishes and their mission. The Akande family restaurant continued to thrive, its reputation growing with each passing year. Travelers came from even farther away, drawn by the promise of food that could soothe the body and soul. And while the mystery of their secret ingredients remained unsolved, those who dined there knew one thing for certain. The Akandes put more than just spices into their cooking. They poured in love, tradition, and a touch of magic, a recipe that could never be replicated.